Oh, let's get rid of that photo so you guys can see my pretty face. Hi, everybody, welcome to the Three Geeks Podcast. As I'm watching that new intro that we have, I realize how fat I've gotten over the years.
Yeah.
Like I've
lost a lot of hair.
And some of them, and
yeah, I just was watching my progression of hats. I was like, oh man, I missed that hat. Oh man, I missed that one too.
I will be editing out Kevin Sorbo from that introduction of the video.
Poor Kevin Sorbo.
Jeez.
The video was made prior to the events of this week.
And Kevin Sorbo was kind of a dick to us anyway.
Well, it's probably because you were going Hercules.
Whatever. That was like 2 years. Like that. There was years between that stuff happening.
Okay, so what happened with Sorbo this week then?
He
a lot of other stuff that happened in the world ties into.
Yeah. Understood.
Right, we'll get into it a little bit, but I don't want to go. I don't want to dive face first.
If you don't mind me interjecting on that, actually, did you see Lucy Lawless put him in his place, though?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
That's how I found out about it.
That was cool.
He pretty much came out in support of the Patriots.
Oh. Patriots.
The Patriots.
Yeah. Don't
you
dare put capital on there.
What's that?
He's not saying Hydra.
Hey, you never know.
No, they did a run where Captain was all hail Hydra.
I know.
I was showing a real Patriot is what I was trying to do.
Okay.
Justin, welcome. We missed you in the pregame chat. Justin,
And we can't hear.
my name is
Can't hear you,
Justin.
but
How
okay.
are you?
Yeah, okay. Oh,
Off to a
whatever.
great start for the new
Yeah.
year.
But I wanted to start off by saying that the Three Geeks Podcast and the PVD Cast has now joined the Scene Snobs network. That's the little image I had at the beginning. Just check it out, thescenesnobs.com. A lot of great content. I've been a fan of Mick since before we had him on the show a month or so ago, and it's been a fun journey. I recently parted ways with somebody I was working with, and I reached out to Mick, and I'm like, we got to do something together. He's like, I'd love to have you on our channel, and so we are now on his channel. It's going to be great.
And I love it. I appreciate you guys so much. I muted myself. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are awesome. I love your show every week. You know, all your shows are great. And I just watched your Cobra Kai review, and that was dead on awesome.
Being here already.
Welcome. I just appreciate it. I'm building this channel, and to have great talent like you guys is amazing. So I truly appreciate it.
Well, thank you. You're a boss because you were live. You were watching our Wonder Woman review while watching Canned Air's game show, all at the same time. It blew my mind.
I try to support as best as possible. I mean, I put it all up on my screen right here, and I'll be talking, but I'm like, I want to see what everybody else has going on. I don't want to hear myself. So I try to just pay attention when I can and stuff, and if I have some downtime while something's going on, I can hear what everybody's doing. So absolutely, you guys are amazing, always bringing it. I love your show, so thank you again for joining up.
Speaking of Patriots, I want to let everybody know that I will be retiring this image for 2021. This is the last time you're going to get to see this magnificent actor.
Oh my goodness.
Randy Quaid is going to be put to rest because he really is annoying on Twitter, and I don't want to put his image out there anymore after this. Just soak it in.
One last
Be
time.
like, man,
Get it out of your system.
if Santa Claus had a drug problem, that's what he would look like right there. Randy Quaid.
Is it bad? Is it bad that I can smell that photo?
You either live long enough to see yourself die.
Turn yourself to Randy Quaid.
Dollar Shave Club.
I wonder how much Dollar Shave Club would have to give.
Well, he could be getting the Dollar Shave Club plug, or he could be making some Manscaped money, and that would just hold out everybody.
There it is.
So.
He just
There it is.
he shaves all the hair off his face, and then it.
Stop right there, Dan.
Mental picture, gentlemen. That's all I wanted.
Dennis Quaid, if you're watching us, just because we put your brother to the side doesn't mean we still don't want you on our show. John from the PVD cast would love to talk to you. Love to talk to you. But what's everybody been up to over this 4-week break we had?
I've just been like sitting at home where it's safe. I try to stay away from the Washington D.C. area. I like just the 2021 came out like last year when the year started, we didn't know that it was going to end up being 2020. But the way this year started, like it's just going to be hell the entire time. Well, so
we don't know that for sure because 2020 technically started in March. So 2021 or 2020.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like we had 3 months in 2020 where it was like, this is gonna be a normal year. Everything's gonna be fine. And this year we're just like, nope, we're fucking raiding federal buildings. We're taking.
Now, I think the problem is that 2020 is not ready to relinquish power yet. So we've got 2 more months before things will get back to normal.
Maybe. But yeah, so I've just been cowering in my house and playing a little Ensu.
It's the lost year.
Yeah, it's legit.
What have you guys been up to? Did anybody watch Saved by the Bell reboot besides me?
No.
Why?
I liked it.
I don't know. I couldn't make it through the whole thing.
There we go.
That's fair, man. I didn't really consider myself a fan of it until I got about halfway through the series where it finally found what it wanted to be as far as spoof or serious. But no, I thought it was fine.
There's a couple of things that really like tickled me there. One was like 3 people on screen going, no. And then there was Mick sheepishly going,
I didn't make it through.
He made it halfway through before he started liking it.
Sign of a not great show, guys.
I mean,
I'm really bored.
I like the new kids on it. I was like, all right, this could be a good show, but you're trying to be so nostalgic with it, and you're turning all these characters that, let's face facts, when you go back and rewatch, it wasn't that great of a show.
Yeah, those characters sucked.
And you're putting them in there now, and you're making them even worse as human beings. So I was like, you probably should have just done something on its own, rebooted or something.
Yeah, the standout in that show is I'm going to say this name wrong. I hope I don't. It's Josie Toth, the trans actress. She was amazing on that show. Absolutely amazing. And I really like the fact that she was playing that on the show, but there's no attention drawn to it. Like there's a quick reference, but to everybody on the show, she's a female. Like that, I really loved how they dealt with her, and maybe that's part of the reason I really like the show.
I mean, which is good because that's kind of where hopefully the world is going. It's like it's just another part of life. Good.
It's a person.
It's a person.
If it makes a person happy, then God bless them. Like seriously. But anyway, Mike, what have you been up to?
For the past 4 weeks, I mean, holiday stuff, but it's mostly been like video calls with family and things like that. Nothing too drastic. I've been catching up on a lot of older movies since there weren't that many to enjoy during this year. I went out to Barnes and Noble last week for the first time in like 8 months and got myself a Criterion Blu-ray of Martin Scorsese shorts, so that was fun. So, yay.
I want to get that.
It's interesting. It's some stuff from the 70s. Like he has his documentary Italian American on there where it's just him interviewing his mom and dad, and his mom. If you watch Goodfellas, you've seen her. She's Joe Pesci's mom in the movie, but like his mom is a character and a half, and like you just fall in love with that lady immediately. And then it's a couple of his student films which are trippy. Yeah, trippy.
My Pets Are Weird says, "Hey y'all, good to see your faces."
Q.
Is
she a Q conspirator?
Oh no,
Max, don't you are playing with fire, friend.
Yes, Mike does clean up very well. I was just about to tell him he was pretty.
Oh man.
I also went back and watched some older movies. I watched The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman, which I had never seen before. and I completely understand the end of Wayne's World a lot better than I did.
I understand this movie from 1992 so much better now.
Wow.
And then I watched Delirious with John Candy, a movie that I did not like when I was younger, and what we watched it, I thought was great.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good one.
You should check out. You remember Who is Harry Crumb?
Yeah.
I have not seen it.
Nice.
Very silly John and Candy movie from the 80s, but like when I was a kid, I was like, it was funny for all different reasons, but it's really funny for adults too.
I'll have to check it out. I've been going through his filmography recently, trying to see some of the ones I hadn't seen yet. Dan, what have you been up to, man?
Oh, I've been buying a ton of guitar pedals and annoying the shit out of my neighbors. So
Happy holidays.
Just watching a lot of riff tracks, honestly, because it makes me happy.
Oh, I watched No Retreat, No Surrender riff track.
Yeah, good one.
It is you, the sun.
There's a Jim Cotta one that's really good.
Is there?
That would be a trip.
Yeah, if you've ever heard or seen Jim Cotta, it
Cotta's
doesn't
a
really
trip and a
need
half.
one, but
Yeah, it kind of does its own, so to speak. What is your favorite riff tracks?
oh, dude, that's a tough one. My favorite Mystery Science Theater is like Pod People or the one Ator one. No, Cave Dwellers. Riff tracks, I think it's Night of the Living Dead. Because of one line when the guy goes, they're dead, they're all messed up. He just if they get on you just beat them off, and they're like, no.
I think I like that one the best too, and I think it might be part of the reason we saw it live with like a whole group of people. So that I think added to the excitement. Either that or Sharknado, because again, I saw that one with a huge crowd.
Well, really curious then, if you don't mind, going around the room, people who are familiar with riff tracks, who is your favorite riffer?
Oh,
I don't know their names.
I don't know their names.
Oh, sacrilege.
No Retreat, No Surrender was good too. Thinking
I'm
about
gonna-
bringing back Fan Damnation. Why everybody is thinking about this? I think Fan Damnation is going to make a
does
return
make a
this year.
It rolls off the tongue, that's for sure.
And I'm gonna go Kevin. If anybody, Kevin always cracks me up.
Yeah, Kevin.
And I will say my favorite is Miami Connection.
Fair enough.
Hilarious.
Brian Corbett. Brian Corbett?
Thank
No.
Bill Corbett.
Mike.
No. Oh, Jesus.
I don't think I've ever.
My brain just melted. I don't know what's going on anymore.
The main ones are Bill Corbett, Kevin Murphy, and Mike J. Nelson.
Yeah.
So.
There you go. I'm going to go with Mary J. Peel, though.
I think my favorite.
She's the best writer in the whole room.
Have you guys ever seen the Future War version, Future War episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where it's so bonkers, they're not even joking. You can actually see the little shadows just go.
Yeah. Or Terror of the Year 5000. For the whole beginning, it's like the terror is coming, folks. I promise. We may have overstated the terror.
the slight fright. I've never watched the full Mystery Science Theater or riff tracks all the way through. Like,
Oh,
yeah, that's not.
it makes me sad, man.
I don't like bad movies, even if it's like other people just shit on them.
We are starting to change that though, because for Animaniacs, you're much more open to Dan picks.
Shaolin Sofa too, right?
I'm willing to forego my comfort so that like they can get good content, but and it's only like an hour and a half generally.
Yeah.
We can just be like, "Oh God, Dan, what the fuck?" And then we have a good episode.
Dan, what's up, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. If you guys are watching us, please click that like button and share button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Or if you're listening to us on audio, leave that review and rate us. Thank you. 5 stars is great. If you want to leave us a 1 star, then leave an amazing comment so we can read it on there.
Yeah, we think the hate too.
Just say something. It's fine.
Oh, Mick, what is your worst/favorite review you've gotten so far? I'll tell you what ours is in a minute.
Oh,
Review of the Scene Snobs?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know that I love all the bad ones. I'm just like, okay. I got one that called me fat, and I was just like, well, that hurts. But at the same time, like, what does it have to do? Like, it was a good show, but you're fat. Like, thanks.
I have a glandular problem.
I have an open refrigerator problem.
Yeah, I got some problems like that too.
No, it's just little stuff like that. Like you get the weird criticisms, and it's either like, hey, you guys seem really like fun or whatever, and then but your show just sucks, and it's just like you're either complimenting and tearing us down, or you're tearing us down and then complimenting.
I can do one better than the fat one. Okay, so we got one that was, you guys are amazing. I absolutely love listening to you guys. But if you guys could get rid of all the blacks, that would be great. And that Jewish guy is kind of obnoxious.
They weren't even talking about the podcast. They were just saying in general. Could you guys, the 3 geeks, take care of this problem that I seem to have with the world?
You'd have a fan for life.
The single fan. We murdered everyone.
Yeah, all the blacks and the Jew. That one, just that one Jew.
I'd have to say the one video that seems to be getting dogpiled even to this day on my site is me and Katie's review of the Wonder Woman NBC pilot. And I'm just more amazed. I'm like, there's a lot of people who are big fans of this show, of this pilot, I guess. Cool. I thought it looked like crap, but okay, good on y'all. And then the one weird comment I got recently, and this has nothing to do with my looks now, but they said, dude, shave your wanna beard. And I'm like, I'm getting to that. Like, honestly, that was the plan, but thanks for reminding me. No problem. Yeah. Took care of it. We're good.
I mean, there should be no COVID beard shaming. I feel like you can allow a person to have their COVID beard, like, regardless of how it looks. That's not cool. I'm going to stand up for you on that one, Mike.
Just live your truth.
I was kind of hoping we'd all make it to the day that we open up again and everyone just emerges from their apartments looking like they're Howard Hughes. Yeah. Like even little babies, they have like a fake beard on and just long straggly hair. They just wander out. They're like, I've never seen the sun before. This is amazing.
I was actually planning on keeping my beard, but I went to shave yesterday and I accidentally took off half of the mustache. So it all had to go because I'm not running around with, I'm not gonna be that guy who has a beard but no mustache.
Shut up!
Dang, hate
I got pulled a Logan.
Call him out.
But yours,
Max. We were told that we weren't allowed to shave for COVID. If you listen to Max,
he has rules.
I'm sorry, sir, but I make a really shitty beard on the side. So no.
A Civil War general.
Yeah. What I affectionately call the douchebag beard. It's the one little line that goes down and down. You see guys that have that, and they've got like tats that like support it because they're so sad that they can't grow a real beard. Sorry, listeners that may or may not have that.
At least you're sympathizing, right? You're with them.
Yeah.
Oh, that made them so angry, Dad. They're gonna chug their Monster Energy drink and get rid of the comments.
Listen,
you got to put the tea over
a
here.
fucking 4-wheeler driver.
My dirt bike's coming for you, sir.
Max and I watched Marvel's Legends yesterday on
Marvel's
Disney
Plus.
Show. Yeah, and it was just a clip show. They did a good job editing. I thought the editing was fantastic.
Yeah, for a freaking trailer, okay, I can cut up scenes of stuff that I've already seen. Like, it's not. It wasn't anything. It was just a freaking hey, remember when you saw this? Hey, remember when you saw that?
So, is it supposed to be like a documentary, or is it just basically like puff piece for?
It's just like a
previously on.
If you did not know. If somehow you watched all the Marvel stuff and completely forgot who Scarlet Witch is, here's all the things that she did. He's just like literally every scene with her in it.
And it's funny because there's 2 episodes up. There's one for Scarlet
Okay.
Witch, and the second one is for Vision. And Max and I looked at each other and was like, "It's going to be the same thing as the Scarlet Witch."
Right? Yeah, they're the same. Yeah, that makes
They're
sense to
in
me.
every scene together, but it was fine as long as you go into it knowing that you're just getting a really well produced previously on the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
So it's for those specific characters in that specific universe. It's not like the history of the Scarlet Witch as a character
That
in
would've been
general.
No, so like what they're doing now, they're doing it for WandaVision, then they're going to do it for Bucky and Winter Soldier and Falcon, and then they're going to do it for Loki and so on and so forth.
That's a shame because honestly, like the history of some of those characters, just meta history is pretty interesting. Like, hey, Scarlet Witch. Used to be Magneto's kid, isn't Magneto's kid. Oh wait, she's Magneto's kid now because writers can't make up their mind. That's an interesting topic.
I really want to see the Thor one of that.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Thor used to be a doctor who walked into a cave during the Moonmen invasion and found a stick.
Well, I mean, like, I'm sure there's like some pretty well done YouTube videos you can find.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but it didn't come straight from Marvel Studios, though.
Right. Yeah. No, so
That's why
they paid somebody so much more to do such a shittier job.
Well,
like,
it's like the Star Wars special features on all the new stuff now. Like it's all glossy and shiny, and it's like everyone has a fantastic time making these movies. Compare that to like the Lucas prequel special features, where you see Lucas basically crying about how the final cut of Phantom Menace looks. It's not real. It's like this is all like glossy, shiny, like propaganda for the product. Whereas back in the day, man, people knew how to put together special features. Show people bleeding and crying and sweating. It's like,
Speaking of that, I watched the Lord of the Rings special features that are on YouTube from there was like hour and a half long each. It was amazing. It was great.
Sean Astin got glass shoved in his foot walking through a river. It's like
he sure did.
It sucks that like we don't get that anymore. Even on Blu-rays, like it just doesn't seem the same as when DVDs are coming out.
I will say the criteria.
Laserdisc.
We were talking about this earlier. The Criterion label, they are able to pad up a DVD or Blu-ray with some interesting special features, like that rival the feature themselves. So at least that's going on. But yeah, like everything is so like proper and polished these days. Like,
well, nobody wants to say anything, negative,
right?
About anything because there goes their job.
If hit social media, you're not going to get a job for a couple of years for sure.
You get a job with like Disney, and they're like, "Oh, well, I see that you've said this stuff about when you were making this movie 10 years ago."
I remember the comment. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Mike,
no,
sorry.
You remember we were talking about reviews before. This wasn't so much a review as a Twitter thing, and I ran into my hole real quick. I made fun of, after Charlie's Angels, I made fun of Kristen Stewart.
Oh, no.
Let me tell you something about Twitter. Don't make fun of Kristen Stewart. I was like, okay, I'm out of here.
Like it's to the point though where like even Kristen Stewart would be like, "Okay, guys, take it easy.
Yeah,
Like,
I get it.
relax. I'm fine."
It wasn't even that. It was just like, I just don't think she's a good actress. Like, it wasn't even like, that was it. I was in my hole for a week.
You're entitled to your taste. It's all good.
Thanks a lot, Fred.
Different.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks, Fred.
I'm always reminded of like the commentary of what was it, Armageddon with Ben Affleck, where he's talking about like, okay, so what's the logic is that like they're gonna send miners up there or oil drillers to drill a hole in the asteroid. How does that but they're gonna fly a shuttle too. It's like, how does the logistics of that work? And he says like Michael Bay told him to shut the fuck up. Like, bring it back to those days in the commentary tracks when people were just cursing at each other all the time, and
which is also a Criterion release.
If I could,
the Criterion release?
Yes, because back
The
in
Rock
the 90s, Criterion wanted to get, because they were just starting out, so they needed to get some money so they could do what they are doing now. So they released quite a few mainstream movies as Criterion. Like RoboCop has a Criterion release.
I can see RoboCop.
RoboCop deserves the Criterion release.
That's different.
I would have put. I mean, The Rock is in the Criterion collection, but that makes more sense to me than Armageddon. Honestly,
Yeah.
Like I feel because The Rock's where he hit his stride.
Kind of on the same playing field.
Give me my face off Criterion release. Just kidding.
My kid asked me about Armageddon the other day, and I had to explain it to him. And I had the hardest time explaining it to him. I'm like, it's about oil drillers that have to go up to an asteroid and drill into it. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know.
Because they're the best at drilling.
Yeah, because astronauts cannot learn how to drill things quick enough to do that.
At least you have to explain that part. At least that part's easy to explain. You don't have to explain.
And astronauts can't handle that.
Yeah. You don't have to explain like the scene where Liv Tyler and Ben Affleck are making out to Liv Tyler's dad singing.
Yeah.
Is that the movie where Bruce Willis started to give up?
Started
what?
I think it started with Die Hard 2.
No.
Die Hard 2 is great, man.
I enjoyed Die Hard 1 through 3. The rest don't really exist.
I don't think he fully gave up by 4, but I don't know where the line is.
I would say after Sixth Sense or somewhere halfway through Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
He's tranquilized through half of Sixth Sense.
Yeah. I'm dead and nobody knows it.
I
don't need to act anymore. Sorry for God. How old is that?
Old enough to not be spoiled.
Yeah.
Old enough that it's become a meme in and of itself.
Spoilers, I have a rule on the Scene Snobs. If it is older than 3 years, I don't care if you've seen it or not.
Okay.
You've had plenty of time. It's like, yeah.
Oh, I did watch Soul recently.
Oh.
How was that?
It was okay.
Can you spoil it for us?
Does it have any pepper?
Spoil it's basically like a guy dies, he doesn't think he should be dead. And he finds his way back to Earth and does the thing. And it's basically about like life is for living, like
so like the Sixth Sense, basically. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike.
But
Does it have scary bits in it?
no, because this is Disney Pixar, right? Is this like
Pixar.
So this is probably like the least emotionally affecting of the Pixar movies that I've ever seen. I was just like, oh, okay, like there's no like up scene, like in the beginning where you're like, oh, this lovely couple dead.
That's a giant kick in the balls, man.
Do you think Pixar's kind of run its course with emotional heartstring pulling moments because they start out so strong?
I feel like this one was just they can be like, see, we're not always doing that, Like the next one is gonna kick you right in the nuts again, as far as just like, oh, this is so sad, and then like we make a movie out of it.
It's just nothing but killing puppies. It's like the 101 Dalmatians murder. Like it just.
Isn't this like the second Pixar movie to talk about death, or was Coco is Disney Studios itself, or was Coco Pixar?
I mean, Coco was like the Day of the Dead, right? Or
Coco, but but they don't have like it's not like a scary like view of it, like with Coco.
Right.
It's very. It's more like the Mexicans look at the Day of the Dead and the afterworld and all that stuff. Like so it's like they're going to see their family and stuff like that, and it's not like a scary like, oh, death is wrong.
It's a celebration.
Like bad. Yeah, right. So it's like it's an interesting feeling you get just because like you're like, yeah, everyone's dead, but it's cool, like, that's fine. Oh, but yeah, this one was
make Bruce Willis happy.
When they're in the after, like when they're in the before, actually, because like it's a soul that it's about a soul who doesn't want to go to Earth to live because she's like, well, there's nothing really there, like there's no point to living when I could just be, and that's fine. And then the Jamie Foxx character has got to teach her like. Why he's trying so hard to get back to or and she doesn't understand, and so it's a whole different thing. But yeah, you don't feel bad about anybody, and then nothing super crazy tragic happens, even though this dude died. But like,
it was pretty lighthearted. I saw it too. It was pretty like it wasn't. He just wasn't paying attention.
yeah. It was good though. I definitely dug it. As far as a free movie, it's the best free movie release that I've seen so far.
Well, how do you think it compared to Mulan?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Compared to Mulan, I would watch this movie 10 times over Mulan. Okay, don't sit there and tell me that you're not going to animate a dragon and then animate a quote unquote phoenix that doesn't do anything. Okay, like.
All right, Max. Here's the test. Rate them: Mulan, Wonder Woman, Soul. Go.
If I had to sit down and watch all three, like what order would they be in?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna watch Wonder Woman first because it's the worst, and then Mulan, and then Soul. And I mean, like, Mulan really only makes me mad because I paid so much for it.
Paid $30 for it, right? Yeah.
But if it had been free, then like that would be a different story.
Okay, well, let's rate them then. Wonder Woman, Mulan, but you still have to pay for it, and Soul.
Okay, so then I'd have to watch Mulan first and get that out of the way and just be so angry. But only because my money is gone. Like it's fucking shitty. And then I'll watch Wonder Woman and I'll be like, well, at least I didn't pay for it. And then I'll watch Soul and I'll be like, all right, I
didn't pay for it.
Coco was a Pixar movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That'd be a cool, we were doing this a month ago or so, the idea of like the film festival. That'd be kind of a cool film festival. It's like make a features out of like Coco, Soul, Sixth Sense, Beetlejuice, a bunch of like afterlife movies.
I'm down, but not like strictly horror, but afterlife movies.
So Grease,
What Dreams May Come.
Can we match them all into the same movie?
No.
Because
I'm sure with the right amount of effort and drinking, we could figure something out.
Yes.
Well, no, here's how it works. The dude from Soul is a jazz musician, right?
Yeah.
So he teams up with some of the characters from Coco because that's about music as well, and Mexican heritage. So they do sort of like maybe a jazz samba type of like amalgamation. Then you work in like Bruce. No, well, Bruce Willis is like the front man of the group, and then they have to do Shake, 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 Senora.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Yeah, Ghost.
That's cool.
Oh, God.
Ghost. Oh, yeah. And someone's in the background making a pot.
Yeah.
In a very sexy way.
Salsa dancing.
Then the little lady from Poltergeist shows up. Perfect.
Man, we're just nailing it. This is 2 hours of gold right here.
Yeah, you broke him.
Dan, I was wondering how we tie all the movies together, and you just presented the perfect way.
How is Poltergeist not a horror?
Call us, Hollywood. We got you.
Damn it, Dan! I got beer in my nose.
Is that a yeast infection?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm having you guys are doing awesome, and I love the show. I'm gonna hop off though. I gotta go pick up my kids. So
your kids will be fine. Hang out with us.
Really quick though,
I'm not saying that I prefer to or anything.
Since we're gonna become part of your great network, what can we expect over at the Scene Snobs?
Great shows like this. Otherwise, nothing. No, I mean we're just continuing to build. It's going great. I mean we got live shows every week, rebroadcast shows. Every night we have something. So yeah, guys, everybody, check out the scenesnobs.com. We have our full schedule up there, and you guys are on there. And I can't thank you guys enough to want to be a part of it and help me build it up. You guys are great.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
We appreciate it. The kind words. Check out the scenesnobs.com.
Good seeing you, dude.
All right. Take care, guys. Hopefully we can do something soon.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. But we've done 34 minutes with 0 topics planned.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is
I do want to run back to Soul just real fast. Did it bother anybody that didn't have an intro like animation? Because that's one of my favorite things of Pixar. Like it didn't have like one of those intro.
Oh, like a short?
Yeah.
No, because the last short where the kid's the dumpling or whatever, just like I'm good. I'm good on the short.
Yeah.
I don't need this anymore.
Wait, what was that on?
You don't appreciate people anthropomorphizing your food?
Look at your sausage party.
It was a buy. Is that what it's called?
Bow.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I can't remember what movie it was on.
Is it a bowel movement?
Oh god, it's not even a Pixar film. It's some random movie.
But yeah, no, I wasn't. Wasn't Incredibles 2?
I want to say maybe Incredibles 2. It was a couple years back.
How did I not see that then?
You're not missing much.
I mean, it kind of makes sense because if it's just going to streaming right away, like you can just make those shorts available as their own series.
Yeah. Right.
No, that's how they get the premium. It's like if you want the short, you pay $30.
Oh, gotcha.
Never
Speaking
again.
of shorts.
Never again.
I need more Forky Ask the Question shorts.
Oh my
Those
God.
are great, and I love them.
Oh, terrible. Absolutely.
How is that terrible? He's a cute fork, and he asks questions, and then they're always stupid answers.
Has anybody watched Amazing Stories on Apple TV yet?
No.
The first episode was really good. I'm watching To Tell the Truth right now, or Truth Be Told. I can't remember. Truth Be Told. It's got Octavia Spencer, Aaron Paul, and Chris Cooper, and God, I'm doing really good with this.
Guy.
She was in the latest season of
Randy Quaid?
Castle Rock.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look.
Kathy Bates?
It's got Lizzie Kaplan in it. It's a good show so far. Very good show. Great cast. Aaron Paul plays he was like 15 or 16 when he gets convicted of murder. His dad testified against him. And as they average, and he's been in jail. He joins the Aryan Brotherhood. Octavia Spencer comes in to try to help him because she's part of the reason he got put in prison. And she sees the Nazi tattoos on his arm, and he's like, you helped this. I do what I have to do to survive in prison. It's a really good show, and I highly recommend it to anyone out there. So far, I mean, I might get to the ending, and it might be like Castle Rock season 1, where I absolutely hate everything that happened.
Would you prefer I think I prefer a shitty beginning to a shitty ending, but I mean, like, it's still like when something's good all the way up to the end.
Yeah.
Or would you prefer something like? Would you prefer like a shitty most of the story, but a great ending?
Yeah, I prefer it in strong.
I probably wouldn't watch it if it had a shitty intro. That's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah, like I would rather it started shitty, but then I wouldn't finish it.
Especially if there's a planned ending.
Yeah,
the trajectory's going somewhere.
It's so much better than having something just shit the bed at the end, though. So
yeah. What could you be talking about, Dan?
I don't know.
Well, I'm watching Rebels right now.
Wonder Woman, Castle Rock was the same way.
Well, Game of Thrones, maybe.
Yeah, King Bran.
No, actually, I don't agree with like everybody with that one because that was more budget constraints. I kind of like the ending.
Well, no, like my problem with the Game of Thrones ending is it's all fast traveled.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely rushed.
The beats that they make are good, but that we get them all like just back to back, and there's no real like for the story that it took so long to take, and to have the ending be so short is to complete all of these different things was a mistake to me. Like,
I think they're rushing to Star Wars and they screwed that up.
Yeah, and then they lost their Star Wars. Yeah, they lost their Star Wars. This is utter ridiculousness.
But I mean, if you go back to like TV shows like Lost, like everybody bitched and heed and hawed about the end of that. But how honestly are you going to end that fucking thing? I mean,
it's hard. It's super hard, but they make a lot of money to figure that out.
Yeah. But I mean, you're not going to make like most people happy because
No.
it ended, and the whole thing was based on the suspense of what's going to happen next.
Yeah,
So you're building yourself up
for failure in some way. Yeah. No,
Well,
I
yeah,
agree with that. Is that you're definitely not going to satisfy everybody.
No,
It's just there are just moments, especially in like long form storytelling with TV, where you're kind of like anyone could see the writing on the wall with certain stories or certain shows,
Yeah.
and when they kind of don't go that way in a way that kind of would make sense for, say, the world or the characters, that's when you get a lot of people being like, well, that was a bunch of waste of time, basically.
Prison Break. We break out of prison. We go back to prison.
Yep.
We break out of prison. We go
I'm never
back to
leaving
prison.
prison.
Yep. Prison Break. That's one of those shows where I'm just like, man, you can't name it that. Like
No.
after they break out of prison, the show is not Prison Break anymore. Now it's
Tough guys with dumbass tattoos.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, guys, I want to share this quick video I want to show everybody what's coming next from Mike McGTV.
Yay.
So let's go ahead and hold on. I just forgot to hit play sound. My bad. See, just because it's a new year doesn't mean my.
Jason's
Oh,
any better.
geez.
So hey,
Hold on,
we're
Jason.
learning. We're learning. Still.
2021, year of growth.
Is this
Right.
a fake trailer again?
Fake trailer.
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I owe all of you an apology. I keep promising to expand my horizons and offer a wider array of content for those of you who watch and enjoy. I keep promising this to you, and I keep promising it to myself. And last year was no exception. But as you might have known, last year probably wasn't the most opportune time to fulfill promises. Like a lot of people, I kind of just got lost in the shuffle and became overwhelmed with how incredibly isolating and bleak the days seemed. And that inadvertently affected the kind of content or quality of content that I brought to you. I can't help but feel that I could have done more. Because when things seemed exceptionally bleak, that was when I would turn on the familiar. Those moments and opportunities I had to share in something truly special and creative with people I care about. People who continue to challenge and fuel my creative process. And I also look back on the chances I took when it came to perhaps presenting a more serious side of myself, or a more in-depth perspective on the media that I love. I want to do more. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to challenge myself to take new risks. Challenge myself to expand my horizons. And challenge all of you to come along with me on that journey. I can't guarantee that they'll all be successes, but all I can do is try. All I can do is fulfill a promise. So, here we go.
Well, now I'm sad because Mike was sad.
Oh, no, not really sad. It was just more like meditative. Like, if anything, you
Oh.
should have all just been like chilling out, having yourself some edibles, and just being like, yeah.
Oh.
But no, yeah. So I'm gonna try some different stuff this year, basically.
Cool.
Yep.
I don't think
I
Max
can't hear you,
realized he's
Jason.
still muted. Good job to mute all everybody.
So yeah, no, my favorite part was when I got to see myself, and
Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you. Thanks for that, Mike.
I think you should have gone. The only criticism I have, you should have gone full David Lynch and had us all watch you shave your entire beard.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Well, no, I mean, honestly, I was a little bit inspired because Martin Scorsese did do a short called The Close Shave or The Big Shave. Or I can't remember the title off the top of my head, but it's basically like he just filmed this dude like shaving and shaving and shaving until like blood, he just starts bleeding all over the place. And it's obviously like fake blood, but apparently it's a short film that's supposed to be metaphorical. Like it's supposed to represent the conflict in Vietnam or something.
Huh.
So, sure.
My pets are weird is sending so many virtual hugs to Mike.
Cool. Yay. Yay. But no, basically what I meant by that was like, you know, I make this promise every year to be like, I'm going to diversify my content and try new ideas and stuff. And I always end up just relegating to, I'm going to film myself talking about this movie that came out. I'm like, I'll still do that. But this year, especially after this past year where I could have been productive, but I just ended up like resorting to the easiest things to do. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try some more challenging stuff. So like essays will be coming out more frequently. And in those essays, I'm going to try to be a little bit more, say, cinematic and actually try to tell a story perhaps through them as opposed to just being like sitting here and like, here's why I think Citizen Kane is underrated or whatever.
How is Citizen Kane underrated? I'm kind of curious about this.
Well, there's a whole laundry list of why you should be checking out this movie even more.
Rosebud.
Oh my goodness. No, but that's good shit. That's good shit.
I've decided, I'm sure everybody's noticed this year so far, is I'm not going to get overly political on my Facebook page. But if I see something that I don't agree with, I will comment on it moving forward because there's just some things that need a response. Like, I felt like I had to say something about what happened on the 6th, regardless of how anybody felt about it. And for me, that is a major thing because I don't like conflict at all. I would rather just smile and move on. But the fact that I'm going to do this is going to bring a little bit more conflict into my life than I'm probably ready for. But we'll see.
I mean, you know, that's adulting in general terms is conflict these days. So yeah. Yeah.
Adulting. One of the highlights of 2021 so far is I finally hung out with Justin in person. I mean, it was for this podcast we were editing, but we still hung out for like a brief second.
Sure did. It's a good time.
I'll be happy when I can get, because I used to go over to Justin's for
the pull.
For the pull, and then like Dan's for Animaniacs, and I'll be happy when that's just a little easier to do and a little less
more consistent. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel less like I don't know. I'm kind of becoming like a hypochondriac. Like it's slowly like happening where I'm like less and less willing to do things.
Put my cough around you, you're like, you need to get the F away from me. Whatever it is, you need to
I think
that back.
I think that's gonna definitely be something a lot of people take away from the past year is we're gonna be approaching our hygiene and how we interact with each other vastly different. We're not just gonna go back to the whole like, hey, I'm gonna hug your dirty ass like I used to. It's gonna be more like, okay, I'm gonna go out for a while. If I'm out in the place for more than like half an hour, I'm definitely showering when I get home or something like that.
Give me Purell. Give me hand sanitizer.
Yeah, like everyone will be carrying hand sanitizer with them at this point. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if people kept like a spare mask in their pocket or something like that.
I went out to get breakfast today, and I go to put on my mask, and I already had a mask on.
Holy shit.
I've done that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, the
only time it really bothers me is when I'm at like the grocery store and people like can't follow the goddamn lines, and then you know they got their mask on but it's not covering their nose, and their kids are running around touching everything. And I just want to start screaming at them and beat them to death
Me too.
The 5-pound bag of rice I just picked up, but no, I can't do that.
You're gonna learn today.
I don't understand the mask thing. Like, it's not hard to do. Like, I was
No,
at
it's not.
Meyer,
People are freaking retarded.
I
Sorry.
was at Meyer 2 months ago, and a guy had his mask around his neck.
Yeah, I'm wearing a mask though.
It's on.
Yeah, see.
It's I don't know. Yeah, it's part of that whole mentality of like I actually don't have it so bad like actual people in the world do, but I got to complain about something.
Yeah,
Like part of it's that, part of it's just sheer idiocy and ignorance and everything like that.
I have luckily never really liked going out. So right now the pandemic
You're living a dream right now.
it just reinforced it. It's made me want to go out less than I did before. Like before, I would find reasons to do things. Now I don't want to go out because I don't want to deal with people because they're running around like idiots. It's not that hard to wear a mask. I get it. If you don't want to wear a mask, then don't go out. Amazon delivers, Walmart delivers, Kroger delivers, like everybody delivers. So don't go out. If you don't want to wear a mask, just don't go out. It's so simple.
No, but
and I have to wear one at work every day. Okay, so I don't want to hear people bitch that, oh no, I can't go to the grocery store or Walmart or something and wear a mask. It's so uncomfortable.
But I mean, like, if you're like, what I don't get is people are like, the mask doesn't work or they don't believe it. I'm like, oh, okay, so then next time you're getting surgery, how about the surgeons and the nurses? None of them wear masks.
Yeah.
How about when we've known that they help for a long time, or else like the healthcare professionals would not have to wear them in there every day, like whatever. It's very interesting to me how it's like, oh, now it's a problem when we've obviously known that it does something. But it's whatever. Like I don't think we need to get into that anymore. Like,
I hope I get to meet you guys one day. You will. I'm sure you will.
Probably.
And nothing wrong with a double mask.
thank you. That's
double up.
With everything I just said, I am extremely excited to get back to some normalcy so I can start going to cons again. Like, I know that's like completely against everything I just said.
Yeah. I hate people. I don't like conflict.
Yeah, personal hygiene is definitely not a plus in the con area.
No, I can't imagine what con COVID would be like.
Oh.
The thing is, you'd think a lot of like nerds and stuff would love this time because it's like, oh, cool, I get to just put on my Spider-Man mask in public and not get judged.
Right?
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone in full cosplay now, and it would be the time to do it.
Yeah.
I got a Chewbacca mask that looks like the bottom half is like Chewbacca. I fucking love that thing. I mean, it's a great mask, and when I wear it out, people are like, "Oh, nice mask." I'm like, "Yeah, masks are cool." I don't understand why people are like the backlash on this. Like, it's extra sign space. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a brand or whatever, like you throw that on your mask, like this is opportunity, and everyone's just looking at the bad side.
Yeah.
It's true. All right, everybody. We are going to take our 5 to 10 minute break. On the other side, I believe John Orlando is actually going to be joining us. And we are going to talk about our favorite things from 2020.
Oh, God.
Entertainment things from 2020.
Oh, God.
Entertainment. It doesn't have to be made in 2020. It's just what you watched during all the craziness.
Sure.
Oh.
I was about to say, get ready for 30 seconds of discussion.
Yes.
I hate it.
Heated debate.
There aren't any bodies in my backyard.
All right, everybody. Here's a clip from
Yeah, the many bodies.
Andy. Everybody, we'll see you soon.
I look so thrilled.
Oh, shit.
You probably want audio on that.
We could take that argument, we could take that relationship, we could take the same characters, and in the second beat, develop that same scene, or have another scene about fighting brothers, or have another scene about whatever, and that would be the second beat. And then the third beat, I could take anything from anywhere and try and connect those dots. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically it's a way of structuring story, and it's just one way to do improv. It's I haven't done it in a long time, but the improv I was doing primarily towards the end was like a short form and a long form, where you just do various scenes. It can have a bunch of different structures. You can do whatever you want with it. And the Herald was basically that. And UCB, that's their structure from what I understand. And from what I took away from it is they're going to teach you how to do the Herald. And you go through 4 levels of learning how to do that. And then there's their theaters, they'll have a Herald night where you get to see a Herald perform, or they'll have a short form night or whatever. And so, yeah, I've kind of, it's fun when comedy was really up and going before all of this. It was nice to bounce around to a bunch of different theaters and perform and do all kinds of things.
That's what I miss most during this pandemic is comedy. Max and I, we braved the storm to go to the comedy club here to watch Josh Wolf. And yeah, I realized like how much I actually miss it because it got me out of the house. I have not really left my house since this whole COVID thing started.
Yeah,
I'm home. I don't want to get sick. My mom just got over cancer, so and she still insists on seeing me. So I'm trying to keep my distance from as many people as possible. But I couldn't not go. Like I wanted to go to the comedy club so bad. It was like 4 months after the pandemic started, and I was starting to itch to get out.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And, you have like Dave Chappelle doing his thing out in the cornfield in Northern Ohio.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't realize how much you need. Like, that, like when we were there and just laughing and having a good time, like it's amazing how much you miss. Like, you don't even realize you miss it that much until, you get a little taste of it back. But no, it was good. Do you feel like improv? Like I dabble in stand-up comedy, but do you feel like improv is sort of like that, where it's like it's easy to not hit and very hard to just carry it along the whole time? Because
sure,
I find that very interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I think improv and stand-up are both very different things. Right. A lot of people think that there's a similarity to them because it's under the veil of comedy, right? And I think I hosted a comedy show once where I had to write jokes, but I realized that I'm not a stand-up, and I really respect stand-ups, because it's like they dedicate their whole life to this art form, and it's the same for improv too. Like you have to dedicate. I always say that improv's like a yoga practice. You're going to do it. You could potentially be doing it your whole life. So it's like there's going to be times, even when you're like at the top of your game, that your hips might still be super tight, because you haven't done it in a while. So yeah, you could be like really good and still suck, in improv. And that's kind of what I like about it. And that's, I think, the same in stand-up. I think from what I understand with stand-up, it's like you got to get into the rhythm and the beat of your jokes and the architecture of your joke and all that and your set. And in improv, you have to be really attentive, paying attention in the moment. All these big concepts and words people throw at you at classes and schools that like don't fucking hit me when I first hear them. But it isn't until like this one coach, this guy Jason, who I did my show with at Second City, he just explained it so well and about tension relief. And it's like, I think that this relates to all performance, but it's like the audience is nervous when someone walks onto stage. They're just like nervous. They're kind of like, all right, what are you going to do? Unless they have faith in you, unless you're like, a huge comedian, you know what I mean? And so if you're just a nobody or a random improv team, the audience is like, haha, yeah, all right. Like, and it's the job of the performer to play with that tension, but really relax everybody and with confidence say like, hey, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. No, and we all know what we're doing. And in improv, we got each other's backs. We're going to watch out for each other. We are going to do our very best to make this funny. And once you get past that element, which a lot of teams miss, and I missed for years, of just like letting everybody know we got this, we're going to perform in front of you, then you can start playing with things. And then you can start playing with the pressure and the tension. And then that's where it can get tricky. A lot of people, I think, jump to the tricky stuff first, which is cool. But, the audience won't be on board. I went to a stand-up night here, actually. And it was at an outdoor event. And I was so surprised. There's some comedians who got it, and they were just like, no, everyone's been locked in. I'm just going to please everybody. And then there were some comics who were like trying really difficult material. And I was like, no one was laughing. And I was like, oh man, but that's a stand-up. You know, they want to try. They got to keep working it. You know, and that's the art of it. So, you know, I do know what you're talking about in regards to that feeling of shakiness, because I felt it all the time. I still do. I just think with improv over the times, I've kind of gone like, I think I've got a few little tricks in my back pocket that if it's going south, I can like always turn on like a blowhard, you know, car salesman. All right, everybody. You know, I always like in an improv scene, I always pretend to smoke a cigarette. And I think that I don't smoke, but I think it's because like that's me like calming myself down. So I'll be on stage. You guys watch Westworld last night? And then the audience goes, oh, okay, car salesman, having a break, talking about Westworld, whatever. You know, I don't know. That's my little cheat.
That's great, though. I smoke a fake cigarette to make myself feel better.
You know, yeah. What the hell are you talking about, buddy? No.
I got one more question for you. I used to watch this show every week. You were involved with supplying the voice for Camp Candy.
Yeah.
I want to know, what was that like going into the vocal booth at such a young age?
Well, you know, that's like a different lifetime ago, but it's still a part of my journey, man. My dad, you know, created this show in the height of animation in the early 90s, you know, and I think it was late 80s, early 90s, you know, and he was really, you know, when I look back on his career, you know, he was doing a radio show, he had an animation, he was owner of a Canadian football team. He was really spreading himself out there as a, you know, a successful businessman, entertainer, whatever you want to call it. And he went into animation, and Camp Candy, yeah, I think he did it partially for my sister and I, because we were both kids and we were obsessed with Saturday morning cartoons like we all were. I think he saw that. And, but then on top of it, I think he really wanted to tell his stories about camp, you know, and when you watch those, it's just, you know, pretty basic, right? You know,
That was such a fun interview to do. We're back.
Hello,
sorry, but Chris
working
Candy
out the kinks
is great. If you want to hear more about his time working on Camp Candy and just his fascinating career over the last few years, check out our interview with him. We actually have his sister Jen Candy coming on later this week, so looking forward to that. We were supposed to interview her last on the 6th, but I didn't think it would be a good time to do a fun interview.
I think it would have been a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. Just because we all thought Washington D.C. was gonna burn down.
Yeah, but Chris was a great guy. Check out his podcast, Bumper to Bumper. I have, and it's so much fun to listen to. But we're back. We're going to talk about some things we liked from 2020, and COVID's not going to be one of them. I mean, it may be. I guess maybe it could be on somebody's list. It's not on my list. They haven't made any movies about COVID yet, which surprises me with Hollywood. I think they had that 9/11 movie like in production on 9/12, didn't they?
No, they have this thing called Lockdown that's coming out. It's about it's got like Anne Hathaway and Chiwetel Ejiofor like moving contraband around during a lockdown and so forth, quarantine.
They had Corona Zombies 1 and 2.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I enjoyed. But it wasn't about COVID, like specifically. Just doing a seance through Zoom.
Huh?
Which I will not ever do a seance through Zoom.
Why not? It'll be fun.
Are you opposed to Zoom or are you opposed to seances?
I'm opposed to seances in general.
We could do one right now.
unless
we're all here, Jason. It'll be fun.
Unless the seance gets me an interview with Sammy Davis Jr., then I might think about sitting down.
I mean, I can promise a lot of things and just make it up.
Yeah. There's no way you're going to be killed by sticking your own arm in a blender.
I've had a lot of things promised to me over the last 3 months that never came true, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, speaking of, next week we have a new
What?
segment coming to the podcast. It's called Ohio Fanboys, and we have stand-up comedian Jeff DeWaskin joining us to just geek out about fanboy
Ohio.
stuff.
Is
Are we
this going to
fanboys?
happen, or is this not going to happen now? 'Cause
Fanboys
with
from Ohio.
that intro, I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 4 Ohio fanboys just going on and on about John Glenn.
Wow.
Right, brother?
My favorite
The Wright
astronaut.
brothers.
Woody Hayes. Woody Hayes is a big Ohio thing. Pete Rose. We can go on and on about Pete Rose.
Yes, yes.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
LeBron.
Some senator or other, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, Ohio fanboys.
Pete Rose.
Huh?
I have a VHS tape of him winning the championship.
Oh yeah, this is a preview of Ohio
And
fanboys.
then going to the bookies.
Don't break my legs, please.
He always bet on himself. If he had bet against himself, that'd be a different thing.
I think you should be allowed to bet on yourself.
I don't know.
I think I agree with you, Max.
Like okay, the company's willing to pay me $1 million, but I think I'm so good, I'm willing to bet my own $1 million in order to make $3 more million that I'll win. Like, I don't see how that hurts the game in a negative way. Like when you're betting that you'll win, like you have to try now.
Speaking of Ohio fanboys, the Browns are playing the Steelers tonight.
Yeah, they're gonna lose.
Who's
Yeah,
going
like,
to
COVID hit him hard though, right? There's like 10 players out or something like that.
Oh, the Steelers?
Browns?
No, the Browns. The Browns lost like 10 people.
No, the Browns are gonna lose. I'm pretty sure.
Sadly, they usually do.
Not this year.
They've been a little better than mediocre this year.
Yeah, but that's not a usual thing.
Yeah,
It's,
correct.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because like they had to beat the Steelers to get into this game, which when they play the Steelers, but the Steelers play half of their starters, and so it's like okay, you play the B squad, and then like all the Browns are hyped up, like yeah, we beat the Steelers, we can do it again. It's like
Oh God.
you're playing the B squad.
All right, yeah. So start sending in comments. Let us know what some of your favorite things you watched in 2020. They don't have to be from 2020 because we didn't get a lot of new movies, especially in 2020. We get to get a lot of television though, a lot, and I watched a lot of it.
I watched a lot of it.
I did. I watched a lot.
What came out in 2020?
Well, I mean, my low-hanging fruit, and this is going to be easy for I think everybody to agree with, is like I watched The Mandalorian for the first time in 2020. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really like season 2. Mike, you jumped into season 2 recently. What have you thought about it so far?
It's solid. Yeah, I liked it. You know, it's solid storytelling, and I'm kind of glad it kind of is going in the direction that I was maybe hoping the movies would go in.
Right.
So it's cool and all. I'm still, not gonna pay a membership for it, but
the mouse is listening.
I know the mouse is listening. But I enjoyed it. It was fine. Nothing that I wasn't surprised by though. The thing that did surprise me TV wise that I found myself genuinely enjoying just because I'm I have no idea where this is going was Lovecraft Country. And
that was a good one.
Yeah, I really did like where that was heading, and I like stylistically a lot of the risks or a lot of the things that they did in certain episodes. Again, like Watchmen, they went back to that to the Tulsa fires and so forth. But this episode that they focused on that made the whole situation all the more emotionally charged. And again, Michael K. Williams is a phenomenal actor, so he sold me in that moment. So yeah,
awesome. I recently started The Wire for the first time. I am on episode 6 now. The problem with The Wire that I have so far, and I've heard season 1.
Problem with The Wire.
Just let me finish, Justin.
The Wire has no problem.
I've heard season 1 is like this. It is it's a little slower than I was expecting, but there's so many expectations put on this show. So the fact that I'm enjoying it is great. I love the show so far. it's not one that I feel like I have to go back after. Like if I sit down and watch it, I won't stop watching it. But if I have to get up, it's not one that's easy for me to pull myself back into, if that makes any sense. But I'm into it. I dig it. The acting is phenomenal, and I've seen all of those actors and other stuff. That's the priest from The Walking Dead, right? He's one of the cops.
I don't watch The Walking Dead.
No.
Pretty sure it is. It's got the dude from Fringe that I really liked. The tall, skinny black guy.
There's a lot of tall, skinny black guys in the
Yeah,
world.
that's a pretty generic statement.
There's a lot of tall, skinny black guys on the Fringe. So.
I'm pulling up the image. Jesus.
Let's go down the list.
Yeah,
It's
that's good.
Reddick. Who else?
It's
Harry
JB.
Lennox.
I'm just kidding.
Oh God.
I couldn't imagine him on The Wire.
Honestly, I can see him pulling off some kind of character in that show.
Yeah, he could be in the. I mean, like if Method Man can be in The Wire, JB Smooth could be in The Wire.
Method Man's in The Wire?
Yeah, like,
I appreciate that. That's our bar. If Method Man can be on it.
Yeah. Method Man can do it. Yeah, but it's not
I wouldn't. Method Man ain't that bad an actor, honestly. I remember seeing him in, what was it? He was in Garden State. Yeah, I was right. That's Lance Reddick. Yeah.
I love him. He's in like everything now.
what's his name in The Wire?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, well. Anyway, yeah, that guy's awesome. I dig that guy.
Let me find out what his character's name is in The Wire. Let's see here. He stars as Cedric Daniels.
Yep, Daniels.
But can he act better than the RZA?
Anyone can act better than the RZA.
Yeah.
Come on.
There
He's
is
not
a
that
standing
bad.
bag of dog poop that acts better than the RZA.
I just have to get the cheap heat from Max. That's all.
Let the RZA make movie scores. Don't let him act.
Hey,
That's
you
what
know,
I'm-
like again, like that dude musically, I don't have a bad thing to say about him. All right, acting is not his deal. That is it. Acting and directing are both not his deal, and that's okay. I can't do any of it.
Okay.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
we got to watch Protector 2 for Shaolin Sofa though.
Oh god.
There's only a handful of musicians to actors that I can really appreciate. Like David Bowie was a great musician to actor, I felt.
I mean, it didn't hurt that Labyrinth was just like a giant music video, but
but like The Man Who Fell to Earth, you know, showing up in Fire Walk with Me and things like that. Like a lot of good acting stuff for him to sink his teeth into. And it depends on the role, I know too. But like I recently watched Ocean's 8 on HBO.
Nice.
And the cast, I really like the cast except for Rihanna. Rihanna just wasn't doing anything. I mean, she looks great. You know, she looks phenomenal. There's a point where she shows up in this red dress, and I'm like, you own that. You own that look, girl. But like acting wise, I just wasn't wowed compared to like she's working off of Sandra Bullock and Kate Blanchett and Helena Bonham Carter and all these other people, and I'm just like, man, Rihanna is just not popping in this one. Good music, but I wouldn't stick her in front of a camera unless it was for like a music video or something like that.
I mean, she was.
Where she's in her element.
Battleship.
Oh yeah. Or,
Don't besmirch the good name of Battleship.
that was her and Valerian too, right?
Yeah, she played basically the continuation of the opera singer
Alien thing
from Fifth Element.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah, that's a good point. That was a movie that kind of disappointed me. I wanted Valerian to be really good, and I didn't really like it.
Visually,
yeah. Like I like some of the concepts in it. It just never went together, and the two leads are just there's no chemistry there at all.
Right? Yeah, they're more brother and sister than any type of emotional thing.
And that just got weird.
They have more chemistry than James Franco and Anne Hathaway at the Oscars.
I didn't watch the Oscars, so I don't know.
Who watches the Oscars? Who's gonna watch the Oscars this year? Honestly.
Well, the four
that
movies.
Might be interesting because there's only like 4 things.
Everything wins. Yeah.
like fucking what's that comedy show that won all the fucking
Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek is going to win all the Oscars just because they're like, Schitt's Creek came out, so.
I've heard good things about that show. I haven't watched it though.
Oh,
Yeah,
the show's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
the show's really funny.
It's. I hope it wins all the Oscars.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a thing. And like in terms of entertainment stuff, nothing like recent aside from a few shows here or there. I was actually more amused about how the entertainment industry was shooting itself in the foot throughout the year.
Yeah.
Like it all kicked off with that Imagine video. I'm like, oh boy.
Oh yeah,
These people are gonna lose touch with everybody else pretty fast, and sure enough.
Yeah, as soon as you start showing your nice house when people are losing their houses, like I will shank you. Like it's not good.
Did anybody watch Invisible Man last year?
I didn't like it. It was okay. It was all right. It was different.
Moss?
Yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah. That was okay.
Yeah.
Like I didn't because it wasn't invisible. Like I guess like okay, like this is one way to do it, but you like after it's like a guy that says spoilers. Sorry.
Well, put up the thing. Yeah, it hasn't been 3 years, Max. Come on.
There's rules to this.
You gotta start playing by cinema scene rules.
Yeah.
Scene
All right.
Snob
So,
rules.
spoilers.
Sorry.
It's a guy that kind
Thought we told you, old man.
so it's like it was whatever. There's like a couple, but like it was very well acted, I thought, and it was pretty good, pretty well placed. I really did like the CG of the Invisible Man doing things like that was very well.
I want
just the way that sounds without me seeing the film.
Doing things.
Yeah, no, the Invisible Man doing things. Wow, that's really good.
Doing stuff.
It's just amazing.
Honestly,
He can't see shit. He's invisible. Who knows?
I talked about this with Dan and John on my year-end review over at McGTV. The non-Invisible Man parts were the scarier parts. Like the opening sequence is by far the scariest sequence in the movie because you're just like, this is frighteningly real, and I'm not ready for what's may or may not happen here.
Yeah, that's my favorite kind of horror too. If you can believe that it could happen to you, that's the scary stuff to me. But
I watched Guest House starring Pauly Shore, and I will give my quick review of it. The first half of the movie is atrocious. The movie is unnecessarily overly vulgar, which Pauly Shore's movies were never that before. Like they were dumb and silly or whatever. But the second half of the movie, where it starts to be more like Neighbors, where he's just playing pranks on the people that live inside the house that he's a guest house in, that part's kind of funny. But it's not a good movie. It's better than some of the Adam Sandler movies I've seen on Netflix. It doesn't really say a lot. I had more fun watching Guest House than I did watching Wonder Woman 1984, and those two things should not be put together in a sentence, you would think. But honestly, as a fan of Pauly Shore in the 90s, I was kind of rooting for him in this movie, and this movie is not going to make me recommend this movie to anybody. But if you were a fan of Shore in the 90s, this movie is for you because it's just more of the same. He plays that weasel character again. And
I was about to ask, is it him breaking form? Because Guest House sounds like a thriller to me.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
And speaking of things not putting together, Fan and Pauly Shore.
Younger me loved Pauly Shore. When I was in my teens, I watched a ton of like In the Army Now and
In the Army Now is the shit. I love that movie.
There's only two Pauly Shore movies I can sit down and watch now, which is Son-in-Law and In the Army Now. I tried to watch Jury Duty recently, a movie that I loved in the 90s, and it was tough. It's too Pauly Shore, if that makes any sense.
Even remember that existed until right now.
I don't mind Pauly Shore in small doses. I hate it when he takes the lead. Like Encino Man, fine, that works. He's there in small doses in the supporting capacity. I'm fine with that. Biodome, fucking kill me.
Biodome. Oh yeah,
I was carded. Oh, yeah. That movie's rated PG-13. I went with my friend Tam and another person, and they carded us for a PG-13 movie. They're like,
makes sense.
Wow. Your guys' ID, and I'm like,
I'm sorry, you're way too mature to be seeing this movie.
Yeah, really.
Are you sure you want to go in here?
What if we could put Pauly Shore and Carrot Top in the same movie?
The world would explode.
No.
Thank
Why would
you.
you wish that? Like 2020 was bad enough, Dan.
You
Why
made
would
me
wish
sad,
that on?
pets.
Because that sounds like the worst thing.
Hey, you know what,
Yeah.
Pet? I loved Son-in-Law. It's
Son-in-Law
got
was
Kelly
alright.
Kapowski in it, and it's got
It was a
Lane
fun movie.
Smith, who played Perry White in the 90s.
Who is
He,
that,
he
though?
played Barry White in the 90s.
You know what? Now?
Who?
Who's the girl? The main girl.
I'm pulling it up.
That'd be so great if Lane Smith played Barry White. Because especially since, you know, in Lois and Clark, Perry White's this big ass Elvis fan. He'd just be singing everything like Elvis.
It is.
Can't get enough of your love. Oh.
Yeah, friggin' Son-in-Law was all right. I'm down for Son-in-Law. You know, it's like it's like the Sandler trio. You know, you can watch Waterboy, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore. You know, and that's like Sandler, like at his best in that stupid guy thing that he did. And
Mhm.
yeah, you're watching Son-in-Law, and
Then you run into Mr. Deed, and you're like, oh,
you know,
damn.
man.
If you
To
think
me,
if you're out there and you think that there's a huge difference between Pauly Shore and Adam Sandler, there is not. Their movies are very similar.
Pauly Shore-
Financially, it's totally different, though.
yeah, okay. Sandler has a subtler side, which Pauly Shore does not.
Well,
Your
Sandler,
Uncut Gems is definitely something Pauly Shore
Well,
could.
no. I mean with his comedy as well. I mean, because I think Pauly Shore is closer to Deuce Bigelow than
Yeah, that's fair.
Sandler, I'll give him credit. Like, if there's potential for making a different character, he will try to make a different character. If it's just one of his standard Happy Madison productions where it's like I just gotta show up and be me just because everyone else around me will be funnier, then sure. But like, for example, like it was a bad choice, but at least he tried it. Something like Little Nicky. I'm like, okay, fine. He's trying
I
something.
like that movie.
Oh my God,
It's dumb, but he's trying at least. Like, I can't see Pauly Shore doing anything else outside of hey buddy. Like that's all that's all I see when I see him, because that's all that was ever asked of him for anything.
Is Quentin Tarantino in Little Nicky the most random cameo of film history? Because he is so like, it's not a movie you'd expect Quentin Tarantino to be in.
Jason, you've seen Wayne's World. You know that's not the most out there cameo. Charlton Heston showing up is one of the most out there.
Which Wayne's World 2, I now understand the ending a little bit better. To bring it full circle.
I mean, if there's feet in it, Tarantino will show up. Like, it's fine.
I also watched the show A Teacher. I don't know if any of you guys saw it. It was an FX Hulu like joint production. It's got Kate Mara starring as a teacher who falls in love with her 17-year-old student. And so the show is good. It's a good show. But the problem with the first part of the show is it plays more like two star-crossed lovers that can't be together than it does predatorial, and you know what I mean? Like they have warnings that you're going to see like predatorial behavior, but that's not how the show plays it in those first 3 or 4 episodes. So it's really kind of weird because you're kind of rooting for them to get together, but you know that they can't get together because it's wrong, because it's a really hard show to recommend to people because
it's doing the romance earnestly. Then it's not like trying to give like a little bit of a dark satirical edge to it and be like,
no, I mean at the
this
end,
is just how a fucked up person views it.
They do a little bit more of they wrap it up nicely in the end, I think, to kind of it's played back.
Wrap your tool.
Like the first part of the season is through her eyes, and then they kind of play it back through his eyes in the final episode, and I thought that was interesting. But I mean, I'd recommend the show, but just know that the first half you got to get to let it play itself out.
Does it turn out it's the prequel to That's My Boy?
Yeah. do all the students look like they're 30?
He was, I mean, like I said, he turned 18 like right when they started to get together. But no, he doesn't look like he's 30. I mean, maybe like
It's not like a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man situation.
Yeah. Like, I'm still in high school and I'm 42. What's going on?
They can't even fit all the fucking candles on his birthday.
Yeah.
Or what was our joke, Max? Chris O'Donnell as Robin, this 85-year-old sidekick.
Yes, the grown-ass man wonder.
That's our joke. That's our joke on Chat Cave. Every time we talk about Chris O'Donnell Robin, we have to keep adding like 10 years to his age.
Yeah, I mean, like he was like 87 when he took the role, so like, it's amazing to me.
Listen, they're gonna pay him money to play a role.
I'm not mad at Chris O'Donnell.
Oh, you're mad at Chris O'Donnell.
The grown ass man wonder sounds like a Pauly Shore movie. By the way.
I can see Pauly Shore.
What is it, Hancock? It's the new Hancock. It's an 80-year-old man just flying around punching people.
Hey, Batman, it's the Robin.
Oh no! I never want to hear that again.
No.
Hey, baddie.
I'm gonna have nightmares.
Another show I watched, and I'm gonna go around this table here so I can get Justin Dan's. But another show I watched, which surprised me that I liked as much as I did, was Titans. I loved Titans, and I got to take back every negative thing I said about this show because I thought it was really well done. I really did.
Yeah.
I know nothing about the characters. There's no cyborg in it, which was a huge plus.
Yeah,
Cyborg
sucks.
I really like the casting of Dick Grayson. I like the way they did Jason Todd in the show, and I really like Donna Troy. Yeah, I really liked her too. The show it's a fun show. The violence is kind of amped up a little bit, and it's one of those Batman shows. Unlike Batwoman, they don't ignore Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne does show up in the show.
They got Jorah Mormont to play freaking Batman. It's
That's sweet. I like that.
And they don't ignore Batman and Bruce Wayne, which is another thing I really liked about the show. And I like the guy playing it. I mean, I never saw. They don't show him in the suit. He's not there to be Batman. Batman's Gotham. The show takes place in San Francisco, but he does show up to help Dick towards the end of season 2, and they do a really good job of showing like their strange relationship.
Just help Dick.
Weird, right?
Must have heard exactly what I did on that one.
Emphasis on there.
I heard Dan like giggle. I'm like, oh, I have to say something.
Put a lot of emphasis on that name.
I giggled.
Unless you meant like, oh, Batman shows up to help Dick. In other words, he doesn't help out at all.
He doesn't have it all. Yeah.
But,
thanks, Batman. Jeez.
the only thing that helped me get over the murder of my parents.
Grayson and Bruce Wayne's just different viewpoints of stuff, and I know that's really played up in the comic books too. Like they don't see eye to eye, and his transition to Nightwing in season 2, I really like the Nightwing suit that he has. And Jason Todd is just like in the comic books, over aggressive. Wants to fight the cops too. Super violent, dude. I had to ask Max. I'm like, he's like this in the comics, right? And Max is like, yeah, he's not really one to shy away from violence. But no,
man, like it's okay. Like I watched the first episode, maybe 2 episodes of Titans, and I could not. I was like, nope.
Oh, it gets so much better, especially in season 2. But they bring Aqualad into the show, but only for one episode. What's that?
It's not
Black Lad. Like, Young Justice is.
Yeah.
Right here. So I mean, like if you watch Titans, they probably did it better in Young Justice. I'm just saying.
Does Lobo ever show up?
Who?
Lobo.
Lobo would be fun.
There's
there you go. See? Yeah.
He shows up in Young Justice.
He showed up in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Deathstrike is the villain of season 2.
Deathstroke.
And then Connor Kent is a character I know nothing about. I really like his conflict. I like that he's part of 2 different people, like extremely different people.
Like a bad marriage, you might say.
I mean, I was always rooting for Clark Kent and Lex Luthor to get together, and this is kind of the.
Yeah. If you've been shipping that, it finally happened. So.
But put your fan fiction away and watch the show.
I'd put the quality of Titans up there with Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is a little bit more comedic than
Doom
Titans.
Patrol, I like Doom Patrol. I got through the first few episodes, so I gotta say Doom Patrol is better than Titans. Like I do enjoy Doom Patrol. I thought some of the concepts they get into are pretty cool.
Doom Patrol, they're in Titans too. They're in an episode, which was a backdoor pilot for Doom Patrol. That's where they get Beast Boy from.
But it's weird because the actual show Doom Patrol like breaks continuity with Titans immediately. It's like it's its own separate thing. And Cyborg's in that one.
Yeah, good.
No.
He fits better there.
I've watched 2 episodes of Titans, and I've seen the trailer for Doom Patrol, and I think Doom Patrol is better. So.
They're both good. I like them both.
Yeah, Dan, I think you might dig Doom Patrol. There's some stuff that happens there that I think.
Yeah. Like I made a mental note to watch it, and then I never got back to it. So.
Lost a note in the mail.
But Dan, what have you watched over the last year?
Not a whole lot. I watched a lot of like older movies, like really fun Italian horror movies. There's a nice one about a scary guy that kills a whole town and then eats himself at the end. That's called Anthropophagus. Pretty good. I played a whole lot of video games though.
Sweet. What'd you play?
Right now I'm playing the Hyrule Warriors, the second one.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
It's pretty cool. I like it. I like that you can play the bird guy and fly around and just shoot people with arrows and not even get close to them.
I want to call him Colombo, but I know that's from Star Fox.
Yeah.
Like the exact same.
I've gotten back to a lot of like classic stuff like Skyrim and then I started playing Oblivion and I like that better. I think I always have. I like the little gates to hell and the little imp guys that run around.
Morrowind was always my favorite. I would love the remaster of Morrowind just because of how easy you can break Morrowind.
Yeah, I mean it's cool, and I have the original disc, and it's just it runs so slow. I love that when you meet the head of the Blades though, he's just some topless old guy.
Yeah,
he's like, how's it going? I'm like, oh. Did I wander in the wrong house? Oh. But yeah, I like getting marching duties from like Captain Picard before he gets killed off. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
Dan did make me watch Exorcist 3 last year for.
Oh yeah,
I loved it too.
It was good.
Best jump scare ever.
The ceiling.
What's that?
The one on the ceiling where they're crawling on the ceiling.
No.
The hallway.
The giant pinky
the back and forth, and then booga booga. There, I don't know.
Yeah. It's just a long shot of a hallway for like 5 minutes, and right when you're like, why am I seeing this? Then it comes.
I did fly in Morrowind. That was why I loved it.
Oh no, that's right. I'm gonna say, when did that Iron Man game come out?
Avengers?
Anthem.
Yeah.
Oh, Anthem.
Terrible? No one liked Anthem, right? Or did people like Anthem? Did you like Anthem?
Awful.
I bought it for 99 cents from Walmart.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
It's good for a cheap play, sure.
Max.
Yeah.
Just so I can do a 3-year-old told you so. They finally turned off the servers for that Overwatch clone that you tried to get me into.
Oh, Battleborn?
Yeah.
It wasn't an Overwatch clone. It came out before Overwatch.
Yeah, talk about bad timing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Overwatch is so much better. And you're like, I don't want that. I got Battleborn.
Yeah, dude, I don't like new things. So I don't even if they're really good, I'm just not a fan of new things. So yeah, I was wrong. I can admit that. It's not like
I just thought I would bring it up. That's all.
It's not like I'm still on the Battleborn train. Like, can you believe they shut down the server? This is bullshit.
Now I can't play anything.
No, I'm actually waiting on Overwatch 2 to come out. I love Overwatch. But it's just gotten really stale. So I'm just waiting on Overwatch 2 to come out.
Yeah. Although I started doing the snowball fight on that late, was like a couple days before Christmas, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you had to keep making snowballs from the little things on the ground. I'm like, why am I not shooting anything?
You only get 3 snowballs? What the fuck?
It was the saddest thing for like 3 matches.
Oh damn!
I can also recommend the first broadcast television show that I've been really into in a long time, which is Big Sky by David E. Kelly. That show's really good.
Oh.
They're pushing that one kind of hard. I don't trust something that I get like a media blast.
Oh, dude, the twists in that show are fantastic.
What network was that?
ABC, I think.
That was ABC. Okay.
What's that dude's name? Who's in that one? Ryan Philippe?
He's only in it for briefly.
Oh, okay.
It's got it's David Kelly, who makes some great television, and it's got like nobody really of note except for Carol Lynch. I can't trying to think of his full name.
Oh, Arthur Lee Allen from Zodiac, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
John Carroll Lynch.
John Carroll Lynch, yeah, that's right. Drew
That's
Carey's
right.
brother.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that guy's in like every fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
David E. Kelly's made some good shows over the years. I didn't realize he was involved with Mr. Mercedes and Big Little Lies, but I liked both of those. Goliath, which is another great show.
The first season was good. Second, not so much.
Oh,
The Wonder Woman television pilot.
Oh yeah,
I didn't get on there for a reason.
good times.
I watched all of his Boston shows in backwards order. He
We're
wrote
all
like
time travelers now.
and Doogie Howser. I didn't know he wrote Doogie Howser.
All right, I used to love Doogie Howser.
Wow.
I was a fan of Doogie Howser back in the day.
Justin,
Oh,
what are some of your 2020 highlights?
I think I enjoyed Carnival Row. If anybody watched that, I enjoyed that season. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I'm more like Dan. I played a lot more video games. I played Cyberpunk, which I was on PC, so I didn't experience the whole litany of issues that everyone else
Did
did.
your game system just grow arms and throw itself off the window?
I love watching the glitch videos on there.
Yeah, that's really funny. Oh, I've had some funny ones. Like my favorite one was you can call your car in the game by just pushing a button, and it literally just shot out as like a rocket. Like it just came tumbling in. Like my car basically exploded just to get to me. Like it just like rolled in. I was like, what? I was like, I did what you asked me to do. I called my car and it just came in like a rocket launcher. Like it was incredible. I had a good laugh.
Like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order right now, which I enjoy that very much. I didn't get my old system wasn't able to actually play it, so it's the first time I was actually playing as a Jedi, as a ginger Jedi, which is a lot of fun.
No, I couldn't get behind it. Couldn't get behind it. I was like, this kid is a fucking ginger. He needs to die. Like, how is he a light side Jedi when he has no soul?
Turning count so high.
We're gonna hear a lot more from 2021. The views of Max, and not entirely those of the three Geeks.
Oh, whatever. Gingers have had it pretty easy compared to a lot of other people, so yeah, sure, I'm off.
So no, I couldn't do it. I played through like 2 or 3 missions. I was like, this sucks. Kill this ginger kid. I want nothing more than for him to die.
Yeah, I mean it's like Dark Souls with Jedis, right? So it's a little harder than normal.
But Max, it's the not Joker from Gotham. How could you not like him?
Yeah,
He does look a lot like him. Yeah.
Well, it is him. It's the same actor. Yeah.
Oh, is it? The voice never done? Dang. Okay.
No, I don't like Dark Souls. I'm not a fan of like those games.
Okay.
I didn't like Sekiro. I don't like Dark Souls. I didn't like Jedi Fallen Order just because of like that style of game.
But did you like the Surge?
The what?
It's the same style of game. It's okay.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't played that one. Probably
Except for
won't.
like weird robots.
But yeah, it's I couldn't get into it. But it wasn't the ginger. It was the game mechanics.
And the ginger.
Oh.
And I mean, the ginger didn't help.
You're not selling me on this, Ginger Man.
I went back on one of my promises, and I finally picked up Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Okay.
because it was $12, and I was like, well, screw it, my microtransactions can't hurt it that much.
Yeah.
So and so far, I mean, I've had it for a week. I like it. It's fun. You run around and cheat stuff.
Right? I mean, I know initially you got a lot of hate, but
yeah.
a lot of patches and DLC for it that hopefully makes up for it.
Well, the microtransaction stuff definitely was where a lot of the hate was coming from. Was you're buying a whole another game basically.
Yeah, they fixed a lot of that. The only bitch I have is that now when I get one of the little packs you're supposed to open up, the game doesn't show me like what the thing is. It says, "Hey, you got a new gun," and it's just a blank thing. And it's like examine. I'm like, oh fuck it, I got it. I guess I got a new gun.
Has anyone gotten to play that Squadrons yet? Or
no, I've heard good things, but I've not.
I've heard it's a really good flight sim, but that's all it is. So I'm not sure.
I've been playing GTA 5. I got back into it. It's still there. I this game came out like with the launch of the Xbox One, and it's still going. It's amazing to me. Like I'm still having fun. They just released a new mini map that you can access. I haven't even gone there yet. You got to buy a submarine. It's like $2.4 million in game. So, I'm just like, I don't even
buy
care.
yourself a shark card.
not there yet. But
talking about microtransactions.
No kidding.
Yeah. I mean, it's still fun to play. Like, I mean, the worst part about it is the other people that play. Sometimes you'll get the random dickhead who just wants to kill you 800 times, and that's the worst part of it.
I keep trying to get into GTA, but every time I go into the game, I end up buying clothes for like an hour, and then I run a mid
priorities, man.
And I lose really, really bad, and then I log out.
What I need for the next GTA is for it to be like Forza and GTA and I can't remember what my third one was, but like there's
Mercenaries.
just a little bit extra for the game to be like it needs to be Sims, Grand Theft, and Forza all into one.
Yeah. Like I thought the open world experience would be fun with like online play, but I'm like, nah.
No.
Like I tried Red Dead online for like 5 minutes. I'm like, everyone on here is an asshole. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I was one of those assholes. It was fun. Go around and shoot everybody.
Oh my god. Okay, like sometimes you're just trying to play the game, you're trying to do your thing, and somebody's just constantly fucking it up. But then other times, like you get a lot of nice people who you like one guy, like I was out in the middle of nowhere because my car blew up or whatever the fuck. Dude just like stops and gives me a ride in his helicopter. Like, he's just completely random.
See, I don't mind that. Like, I don't mind the hangout space aspect of certain games. Like, I've still got DC Universe online for some reason because I'll just go to Metropolis and hang out in front of the police station because that's where everybody fucking goes.
Yeah.
And we all just race each other because we're all the Flash because that's the best power to have.
That's like the one D&D game you can get on the Xbox. Like everybody hangs out in the town. You got like naked people riding scorpions going, hey.
But the only reason I love GTA and Rockstar Games for it is because like the game, all the downloadable content is free. You can buy money to spend things in game. If you want to buy a car or whatever before you earn the money for it, but you don't have to pay at all to get any extra experience in the game. And like for them to be going on this long, like without the microtransactions, like Battlefront 2 and then things like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just it's showing how it can be done, and I appreciate the shit out of that.
Yeah, they're not doing the business model that like Anthem or Destiny does. It's like we got a new expansion, another $29.99.
Yeah, like fuck you.
And a lot of people said that. So.
Again, that's the only silver lining I give Avengers, which is the worst gaming experience I've had probably in the past couple of years, just because at least the DLC is free.
Right.
That's
for
fine.
now.
For now. That's
I
fine.
love the
It's like
game.
Yeah, the year one DLC is supposed to be free.
After that, you gotta pay.
So
All right,
after that, I won't care. So
I am going to wrap this up soon, but on Tuesday at 7:30, you can check out the PVD cast making its debut on the Scene Snobs network. And this has been a lot of fun. I can't wait to be back next week. Actually, 2 weeks from today, the Scene Snobs are going to join us for an episode of Remake Revolution.
Nice.
So I will get with the guys to find out what movie we're going to remake. And it should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that Team Matt Talk can go up against the Scene Snobs, but I got to talk to the bosses above to see what they think.
Judge.
Second judge?
Well, everybody, have a great day. Remember, say goodbye to this picture because it will not be on any
We
longer.
said goodbye to that picture.
Yeah.
You just ruined
Yeah,
the
we
thing.
said goodbye.
Make the hair TV go away.
Here, we'll say goodbye officially here.
He couldn't even help himself.
I deleted it. It's gone. It no longer exists.
Hello, boys. I'm back.
Yeah.
Quick tease of some things to come right there. And from all of us at the Three Geeks Podcast, have a great day.
See you.
Droids.